All right, let's dive into something that most of us use every single day, but probably never think twice about: the simple water well. I mean, it's just a hole in the ground, right? Well, it turns out it's a piece of technology so fundamental, so absolutely essential, that its story is basically the story of human civilization.
No, really, take a second and think about it. We walk all over it, we build these massive cities on top of it, but what's actually down there, under all that dirt and rock? You got it. It's water. A, a huge, invisible ocean of fresh water flowing right under our feet, no matter where we are on the planet. In fact, there's over 100 times more water in the ground than in every river and lake on the surface combined. It's just staggering. And for thousands of years, we've had one ingenious way to get to it. So here's the game plan for our deep dive today. We're going to start with that river beneath your feet, what groundwater actually is. Then we'll look at how a modern well really works. After that, we'll jump in a time machine and go back 8,000 years to see where this all began, tackle the challenges we're facing right now, and finally, peek into the seriously cool future of drilling. Okay, first things first. Before we can talk about wells, we have to understand the invisible resource they're built to tap into.
The easiest way to think about it is that the Earth is like a giant sponge. When it rains or snow melts, that water doesn't just run off into the ocean. A lot of it soaks down, seeping into the soil, filling up all the tiny, microscopic gaps between sand, gravel, and even cracks in solid rock. That, in a nutshell, is groundwater.
You've actually seen this happen. You know when you're at the beach and you dig a hole in the sand, and after a few scoops, water starts to seep in and fill the bottom? Well, congratulations, you've just dug your own little well. You've hit the water table, which is just the very top level of that huge underground reservoir of groundwater. Okay, so we know the water's down there. Awesome. But how do we get it from deep in the ground all the way up to our kitchen sink?
Well, that water isn't just sloshing around in some giant underground cave. It's held inside what geologists call an aquifer. Just stick with that sponge idea. An aquifer is that giant, waterlogged layer of rock, sand, or gravel, and that is the exact target that a well is designed to hit.
Now, take a look at this. It's a diagram of a modern drilled well. And yeah, it might look a little technical, but the concept, it's beautifully simple. At its heart, a well is really just a super high-tech straw that lets us sip clean, fresh water from deep inside the earth.
Let's just break down the key parts. The big pipe is the casing. Its main job is to keep the hole from caving in on itself. Then there's the grout seal around the outside. This is crucial. It acts like a shield to stop any contaminants from the surface from trickling down. Way at the bottom, you've got the screen, which is basically a filter that lets water in but keeps all the sand and gunk out. And finally, the pump, well, that's the muscle of the whole operation, doing the heavy lifting to get the water to you. But this sleek, modern design didn't just appear out of nowhere. Oh no, it's the result of a very, very long journey. In fact, wells are one of the oldest human technologies, period. They were born from the simple, desperate need for a reliable water source once we started to settle down and farm. I mean, this timeline is just wild to me. We're talking 8,000 years of digging by hand, from the literal Stone Age all the way to the early 1800s. It wasn't until 1808 that the first mechanical drill was invented and completely changed the game. That means for something like 97% of the entire history of water wells, it was all done with pure human muscle and grit. And if you want to talk about grit, get a load of this. Before we had drills, people accomplished some absolutely unbelievable things. This one well in England went down almost a quarter of a mile. Can you imagine? It took a team of workers 4 straight years of digging, 24/7, by hand. That just shows you how incredibly vital this resource is. Here's the most important takeaway from all that history. Not all wells are created equal. The method you use to make it really, really matters. The old hand-dug or driven wells, they're shallow. That makes them super easy to contaminate from stuff on the surface. But modern drilled wells can go incredibly deep. We're talking over 1,000 feet, punching right through layers of clay and rock that act as natural purifiers to tap into much, much cleaner water. And that brings us to right now. This ancient technology is more critical to our survival than ever. But our massive reliance on it has created a whole new set of problems that our ancestors could never have imagined. Just think about this number. In the US alone, about half the entire population gets their drinking water from groundwater. And if you live in a rural area, it's pretty much 100%.
That hidden river beneath our feet is supporting millions of us, not to mention a giant chunk of our agriculture.
So here's the catch. We're pumping that water out way faster than nature can put it back in. The best analogy is a bank account. For decades, we've been making massive withdrawals without making nearly enough deposits. And, eventually that account is going to run dry. But it's not all doom and gloom. Not at all. That same human ingenuity that gave us the first drill back in 1808 is now creating some incredible new ways to help us manage our water more carefully. The future isn't about just trying to drill deeper. It's about learning to drill a whole lot smarter.
So we're moving past the days of just educated guesses and dowsing rods. Today, we have GPS-guided tools, we have advanced mapping that can see underground, and we have real-time digital sensors that constantly monitor a well's health. It's all about being precise and proactive, instead of just waiting for things to break.
And the stuff that's coming next is, well, it's straight out of science fiction. We're talking about filters that can pull out contaminants at the molecular level, drill rigs powered entirely by the sun, and get this, multi-purpose wells, where a single hole in the ground can provide a home with both clean water and clean geothermal energy. This isn't just a fantasy. This is where we're headed.
Which leaves us with one last big question. The technology we use to find and protect our groundwater is getting smarter at an incredible speed. But all that tech is just a tool. The real challenge, the question we all have to answer, is whether we are getting any wiser about how we protect and share this hidden, precious, and totally essential resource.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more How Meets History.